This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz
You
Now.
have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now, because your business matters.
And this is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. You are listening to the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. We are coming to you live from the brand new Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the entire world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village. We'll be talking some more about that later on in the show. We are happy to have our new sponsor. You know, I had to drop black powder coffee because I don't drink coffee in the evening, you understand? So it became a problem for me. So I was happy that I could find a new sponsor, which is Burner Cigar. We look forward to that.
Did Black Powder Coffee end up on the better end of this? Who did they get?
Oh yeah, they got every day in the morning with Justin. That's
nice. Good
they
for
went
them.
Up. They moved up a slot.
They did.
Don't
feel slighted about that. Good for them.
No. I got slighted. They got moved up. They're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't feel slighted.
Matter of fact, talking about being slighted, you and I talked about this. I'm used to the show being Friday mornings. Monday afternoon, I gotta get up. I gotta get up for the show. Like, it takes me a little time to mentally. Justin kicked me to the curb. You understand?
I understand.
For 10 years, I was carrying the water on Friday mornings. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Justin kicked me to the curb, pushed me to a Monday. So now I want all of you that have this horrible Monday afternoon, this just absolutely frustrating day. I want you to relax. Sit back. Hey, if you can, burn you a nice, tasty cigar. We're going to try inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do at News Talk WSIC. This is 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. And if you did not know, the fella that keeps interrupting me when I'm trying to talk over him is James Sanders.
That's me. Oh.
That's you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was getting ready to talk. I was getting ready to plug you, and you ruined your own intro.
I can do my own intro. And now,
you got
Cornelius's greatest IT guy ever, James. Hey, everybody.
You don't want to give him your company name?
Oh, I'm from Shared Resources.
Okay. Let me
give
do
us
it.
a call
I do
at
it better than you.
704-655-0615. We'll fix your IT needs.
Do the phone number one more time.
704-655-0615.
Let me do it. I do it better than you.
Let me see.
This is James Sanders, founder of Charlotte most reliable IT services, Shared Resources. James, thank you so much, my friend, for being here. You are the co-host for the entire month, and I appreciate you being here on Monday afternoon.
I appreciate being here. Thank you so much.
So now that we've gone through all that,
yes,
there's something I got a question I want to ask you.
Okay.
Because Wilton really liked the question I asked you last week about the glue.
I was concerned about the laughing.
I've got another question for you.
There's a lot of laughing.
This is a good question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Wilton, are you ready to be pleased?
I got a thumbs up.
What do they call their good plates in China? You're not sure about that, are you?
Oh, my phone is off. Someone hand me a Google.
Okay, what do they call the good plates in China? I don't know, but Wilton is going to go to the Google like he did last week and try and get the answer to it.
He is actually smiling about
He loves
that
it. He loves it. I don't know what it is, but he loves my little joke book, so I got to give him a joke. So that was for Wilton.
Very good.
Okay, so there's no secret, my friend, that you are my go-to IT guy. And man, gosh, things have just been moving and turning as rapidly as any other time I can remember being in business. This whole AI thing is changing the way the services that vendors are providing for me. It's changing quickly.
Oh, big time. So that's what my article's about.
Is it?
Yeah. Do you mind if I read the title of the article?
Really?
Yeah.
Read the title,
Nice-
buddy.
nice-
Go to it. Read the
Nice
title.
segue. Hey, let me. This is kind of weird for me to say, so let me try to see if I can get it out. I'm not normally this emotional, but
Oh boy.
Joe, I am proud of you. I am
For
proud of you.
even knowing that AI was changing things.
Just past couple weeks, I've realized Joe is actually staying on top of this stuff a little bit. So
It's funny you say that because more and more of my clients, it is the nature of my industry, right? My clients kind of move me in this direction. So whether I want it or not, I better learn how to do this stuff, right? Because it's coming, right?
yeah.
Right.
How do you feel about blockchain?
Yeah. Well, that's something that's still confusing me to this day. To this day, I have a mental block on understanding where the blocks are, where the chain is, where's the weak link, and where's my Bitcoin money, because I lost plenty.
I'm proud
of it.
of you for piecing those couple sentences together. I
Yeah.
really am.
Yeah,
You're
I know.
doing fine.
I got this going on, don't I?
Yeah, so this is my article I wrote.
Okay.
How technology
Whoa. Let me be clear. When I tell the co-host to go get an article from the Google, I want them to go to the Google. You are the Google. I want people to understand that.
I am writing for the Google.
Okay,
Google Schmoogle. Yeah, I'm tired of the artificial intelligence. Let's try to use some normal intelligence first.
Oh, well, we don't have a lot of that going around there, but okay.
Well, let me try.
Okay,
Let me
you
try
got
and see how it goes.
You got it.
How technology and artificial intelligence can help Joe increase the value of your small business before acquisition.
Whoa, you wrote that just for me.
I wrote that just for you,
Okay.
yes. Just for this show. This may be the only time this is ever read.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see how much of this I agree with.
Okay.
I might disagree with some of this.
Well, in our guest today is going to, certainly has benefited from some of this, and I'll talk about that when he's on air. But businesses that embrace new technologies can gain a competitive advantage. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, one way to use technology to increase the value of your small business is to invest in artificial intelligence. And everybody's like, oh, artificial intelligence, this, that, and other thing going to take over the world. But the reality is that in its simplest form, you can use artificial intelligence to automate tasks. And so tasks that I would normally spend even 20 minutes a day on, if I can make it just happen automatically in the background.
Whoa. Let me get this straight. I just put in place a brand new CRM system that when somebody inquires from the NDA, it automatically sends out emails
I
and
love
such.
it.
Is that AI? I didn't know that.
No, that's
quite.
more process automation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
But,
Okay.
But if you have a chat bot on your website
Got it.
that recognizes keywords and gives answers, say, from a frequently asked question page,
Got it.
now we're getting closer to AI. at
Okay.
that point.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you've had a guest or two on here talking about marketing
Yes.
tools like that.
Yes.
So,
And Inline does have that chat box on there, so that would be AI, but the automation is not. I just want to be clear on that. Okay.
That's
Got
correct.
it. Okay.
That's correct. So where was I? Increase the value of small business, invest in artificial intelligence, automating tasks, improving customer service. And again, we're coming back around to the chat bots, and making better business decisions, which is some information that I'd love to hear from our guest today. With AI,
You really teasing the guest thing hard today.
oh man, I'm telling you, I just want to hear the answer
He's
for
making.
myself.
You got him over there sweating. He's so nervous.
Well, I mean, I'll quote him. Oh boy. Identifying trends and patterns, automating customer service tasks,
we got plenty of time.
Okay.
Let's take a break and we'll come back.
Thank you so much.
If it's Monday afternoon, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, we'll be right back. That's only the first 15 minutes. We got a whole nother 15 minutes.
Yes,
You're
very
good.
good, very
You're
good.
good.
Okay,
Okay.
good. I thought I had wasted it.
No. You're good. I noticed you were trying to hurry. You didn't need to hurry.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, so one of the first things, Alex, that you and I ever interacted on is I said, whoa, you got point of sale terminals. And you turned to me and you said, I can't gauge the effectiveness what I'm not measuring. I don't know if I'm making a profit or not if I'm not measuring it.
Right.
And and so that's the data analysis side of things. First, I mean, where are you going to get the data? And if you look at previous versions of your organization. You know, invoices from vendors maybe was the best chance they had. They had invoices from vendors show what things were costing, and they had income from sales.
Right.
But to tie the two of them together to any detail could not have existed.
No, they never did it. They
Yes.
never did it. So
Yeah.
if you would, when you're, obviously when you're selling a business, you're going to say, okay, so what's your cost of goods? What's your labor? Now, and you can kind of assess by spying or being a fly on the wall and watching the business if those numbers are true. Before we bought the business, I pulled all the invoices, looked at the invoices, looked at the sales. It was horrific. It was like 45% food cost, and labor was through the roof, and it was just a mess. But in spying it, I could see that there was work to be done, and it could be done, and it was achievable. Personnel,
Yes.
and like you said, the POS system is like a no-brainer. I don't understand why they never did that.
Well, maybe because they were on the way out.
Yeah.
So, Wilton, is my new promo for Burners going to be at the end of this? Am I going to hear it? I wanted to hear it.
You want to hear it right now?
Say what?
You want to hear it right now? I
Well,
thought it was more of a, you tell me what you
okay,
want to hear,
that-
and then I can...
the way you text me today made it sound like you were running it every thing.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. You can't text Justin.
What'd he say?
It's on me. It's the live piece, though. It's you picking the flavor of the week.
Fire. I can
Yes.
fire it when I want.
Yes.
Whoa. But what about what Josh said?
I have Josh's liners. You just have to let me know which one you want to hear.
Because what I want to do is fire Josh's promo sometime during this show.
Okay, you want to do it
The
during
other
break?
thing won't start until I start picking out cigars of the week.
Do you want it during digital or do you want it over the air on the radio?
I want over here.
Okay. That's up to you.
Just let me know which one you want to hear. I don't know if you want to hear them first, so that way you know what you're getting into. We are literally back on.
Go ahead and play it. Let me hear it. Play it. Play it. You can play it over digital. Go ahead. This is WSIC, where your business matters. This is the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. Let me prove it to you. We've been going strong for 10 years. We have well over 800 small business owners and community leaders that we have interviewed. We have well over 522 videos on my brand new sexy YouTube channel. Please go there and subscribe. Let me say that again. Please go there and subscribe to Joe Vagnone, Business Broker YouTube channel. All of our videos and interviews are there. You can see all of those with a bunch of tips on small business stuff as well.
And you're giving all that wise advice away free?
Free.
On the tubes?
Free on the tubes.
Mm.
And we are live on the book right now. And we're live on the tubes. Those of you who don't know, Joe Talk book means Facebook. Some woman thought I was talking about the Bible the other day.
The book.
The book. This is
Yes.
on the book. This is on Facebook Live. Go to it. We'll be happy to chit chat with you. And if you got something to say, you want to make fun of James, please feel free to do that as well.
Ouch.
We thank you for listening to Local Biz Now, going strong for over 10 years. I'm here with my friend, whether he will admit it or not, James Sander. He's the founder of Charlotte's most reliable IT services, Shared Resources. James, my friend, thank you so much. You were filling us in on ways to make your business more valuable.
That's correct. Using AI. And the first thing we talked about was to automate tasks, freeing up resources for other better things. Second is improving customer service. And we talked a little bit about that. The most currently applicable use of that is using chat bots to search when the little person pops up in the lower right corner and says, hey, do you want to chat about this? You put your information in, it searches.
So that ain't a
today.
real person.
No. Good
I thought the
gracious.
woman was sitting there all night long waiting for me.
Yipes, Joe, aren't you coming up on
Really?
your 29th anniversary? She's been waiting for you for 29 years. Is that what you're saying?
I could use the man version of what I was saying was I thought it was like the 24-hour person with the headset waiting to answer my call.
She sounds hideous.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So chat bots will answer those
That's
questions
not
for you.
live. That's fake.
not-
That's
that-
fake news.
That isn't. That's to put that little face on there to make you feel like you're chatting with a
Oh,
real
so that
person.
ain't really
but it's
talking to her.
Right. It could be trained monkeys for all we know.
Okay. Okay.
And to make better business decisions. So I
Okay.
really wanted to get into.
Can we go back to that because I am
Yes.
confused about the
Okay.
woman that's really not a woman that's answering my calls.
Yes.
Okay. I, as the business owner, am answering a bunch of questions I think somebody might ask, and so that's how it knows how to reply. Am I getting this correctly?
That's correct. And
Okay.
the questions that it cannot answer, it will forward maybe to someone who can actually chat, a real person.
See, because I know that there's been times I've gotten a live phone call back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It knows when to drop it. And over time, you gather enough statistical information to recognize that there's a question that you're not answering with the chat bot.
Got it.
So you add it to the chat bot's skills.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
it can answer those also.
Okay. Got it.
You can personalize marketing campaigns by having it search against websites or other. You can search somebody's name.
So it could help me discern who is a good buyer profile for a particular business and that sort of stuff. Because that takes a lot of time for me.
It does. It can
to
run
discern
out.
that.
It can run out on the internet. It can run through all kinds of information from any website that's out there or public data depository with whatever stuff that's going on
Right.
in it, and come back and say, based upon what you're asking for, this is the right or the wrong person.
Right. Okay.
And my favorite piece is identifying trends and patterns in data to make better business decisions, and that's what our guest is going to talk about.
Well,
I think. I think there's a piece of that's going to squeeze into what he has done.
And for two reasons why it's so helpful. Number one, most small business people do not know how to actually analyze the data they get. So even if they get the data, they don't know what it's saying to them. Kind of like if you look at a survey, you get certain people will give you different. So if AI can help me as a small business person say, this is what this data is suggesting, that will be very helpful.
Absolutely. Imagine a spreadsheet that is 100 columns wide and 100 rows deep, all of them labeled, say maybe, I don't know, product and month or product and buyer or something like that. You can feed that to AI and say, literally, you can say, what trends does this tell me?
Right.
And it will 30 seconds, 45 seconds, come back and give you useful information that you can act upon,
Right.
which is pretty phenomenal. Because normally I would have to spend an afternoon staring at those numbers, wondering if I can do something with it. But in addition to AI, you can also look at cloud computing. You can look at mobile payments. You can look at social media. And using all of these, as you can attest, a business that's using them, when you're looking at the valuation of that business, it has to be more than businesses
Well,
that are
and
not
isn't it
using
interesting that now more than ever we can sort of quantify goodwill in terms of client base, newsletter lists, in-house databases, likes,
about that?
and
Right.
so there's a lot of more comfortable ways for me to tell a potential buyer, look at the value that this company provides you, and up until now, you wouldn't be able to say anything other than he's got a good business. Yeah,
Right, he's got a good book.
He-
You should look at it. I mean, that book goes on
Look
forever.
at that line he got going out the door. He got a good business. But now I can say, his Facebook numbers are this, his contact lists are this. And so those things are very helpful.
These are numbers and tools that used to be used by the individual departments of an organization
Yeah.
to achieve what they wanted. Marketing and sales for marketing and sales. And there were some numbers, and we rewarded those people that were doing that. But now it's part of the bigger picture because you grab all that data together, you leverage some AI against it, you find the trends, and you can better value a company.
Right. And you want to hear something that's becoming a big, did I say big problem? Reviews.
Oh.
Reviews are bringing down values of retailers if they don't do a good job of addressing them. Because buyers look at that and they're thinking, how do I correct that? Right? How do I? Because it's not going to go away because it's attached to the name of the company, right?
Right, that's
You
right.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so those reviews are very important. And listen, they just like you said, they can add value to a business, but if you've got some bad ones, it is very difficult.
How do you work with a buyer who's looking at a seller who has
It's
a
like the
significant number of-
second thing they look at after the numbers. They go straight to the social media and see what the customers are thinking and saying.
How about
Well,
that?
before they used to never be able to do that, right? It wasn't something they could do. They just had to assume.
Right. We're not having buyers just not buy, are we? Or are they using
No,
that
no,
to
they're-
leverage
yeah.
a lower
That's right. That's
lower
right.
cost? That's
Yeah.
great.
That's right.
Knowing that they can get
No,
in
it
there
ain't
and do
right.
a better job.
No, it ain't right because I'm on the seller side.
Oh, that's
Just-
right.
No, it's a problem for me. But I'm saying these issues that you bring up are unique. They are new. They are real. And if you do not pay attention to them, you will find yourself on the negative side of that. Or you can take advantage of it and use it to your benefit.
All right. So if a person is selling a small business, they need to talk to you because you understand these technologies.
Oh, you trying to give me a sales pitch? Is that what you're trying to do? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You can help them identify which technologies they could have in place and set up a timeline for them to reconsider selling a little bit later.
I'll tell you what I do really well that involves what you're talking about here, which is all of this AI stuff. We don't have an AI for this specific stuff, but you're making me think I could absolutely employ it because I do believe you can look at the amount of these based on sales, and I can tell you whether it's a good, healthy company or not, right? It's stuff that I do through experience.
Yes.
So I'm sure I could get somebody to do it. So you've given me an idea what's going to be really interesting.
You do it through experience, but the amount of data that you can comprehend
correct.
compared to AI.
That's correct.
Yes.
Well, and there's certain things I'm looking for. So to answer your question, what you're really looking for if you're a business owner, these things like social media and how people are responding to new menu items, new things that are happening, right? And how many everybody's got negatives. Everybody,
Sure.
you know,
Especially online.
You know, always somebody thinks they know something, right? You know. But do you have 5 more after that are positive, right? You know, or is it string after string after string of negative, and 4 out of 5 are saying the same thing?
Isn't it interesting that you said 1 negative, but you have 5 after that have to be positive to make up for that 1 negative?
Yeah, that's probably a good number. Yeah. And you better respond to the negative.
Oh, yeah.
You better see that negative there. But the point that I was making is what we can do is look at this information, how many likes you have, how many contacts you have. These things become real valuable to buyers. They really see value in how they can reach and make contact. You know, it used to be, I'm going to put a big sign up that says new owner, you know, new manager, right?
That's right.
You don't do
I'm
that
coming
anymore.
back now.
That's right. That's right. Now you want to know and have this marketing campaign where you're going after them, speaking to social media and that sort of stuff, and how to make contact with that. And so that is a big difference and big play. And what you're suggesting is there might be some companies out there that could help me with that on an AI level. That's interesting.
Certainly.
You might have learned me something here today.
Don't blame me. Additional tips: keeping your website up to date. When was the last time you looked at
that's
small
so
business?
hard.
Isn't that something?
Oh, it is so hard. It requires a third-party person to do it for you, and it requires an analytical-minded person to be able to think through all of these details.
They have to be both marketing and understand what you're doing and what you are up to.
And the content matters, because that's how people are gathering your information.
The what matters?
Content matters.
Oh, I thought I said content.
No. Did I? Well,
Yeah.
I might have said it wrong.
Okay.
Well, it's possible.
All right. Yeah. So keeping your website up to date using social media. We talked about collecting and analyzing data and investing in security measures. You couldn't have me on the radio and me not talk about cybersecurity.
That's right.
So hire somebody that's good for that. I'm staring at my.
You got it.
Yeah. And by following these tips, you can use technology to increase the value of your business when it's time to sell.
You should contact Shared Resources, James Sanders, to do that, my friend. Thank you, buddy.
And
we
Joe.
will be right back. Wilton, I think we no longer have the singing in my bumper music, right? We got that taken care of. It only took Justin 614 days to fix that. Okay. Now, do you want to play me?
My receding hairline wasn't as bad for that picture.
Do you want to play me?
How young was I? Look, I was fatter though.
Josh, will you be quiet? I'm in the middle of doing business here.
Minute.
I'm in the middle of doing business. Can you play me Josh's
Look how
promo?
good looking Joe was. What happened?
This is Josh Johnson, the guy who's used to rushing into burning buildings. But when I need to rush into relaxation mode, I rush to Burner Cigar. It's like calling 911 for your stress. Join me in extinguishing worries one puff at a time.
What you laughing at?
I love it.
Play it one more time. Yeah.
Thoughts of putting out fires may be intense, but relaxation can be just as powerful. I'm Josh Johnson, and when I'm not at the firehouse, I'm unwinding at Burner Cigar. Join me in experiencing blazing relaxation, the perfect way to kick back and enjoy the moment.
Who's Josh Johnson, other than a fireman?
And you're going to have that music play in the background as I talk a little bit about it, right? I'm going to say fire. I don't really care. It really doesn't matter. Every week I'm thinking of just a different one. Okay? So let's do that. Let me talk for a minute. Let me say I want to talk about a sponsor. I'm going to vocally tell you to fire it up. We'll kind of make fun of that. And then you go ahead and fire it up. Right. Okay, good.
Speaking of music.
Excuse me. We got to make a little bit of money and then we'll introduce you.
Totally understand.
Speaking of music, my daughter and I have a song that we sing that is the Bagel Bin theme song.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's that's how we're gonna introduce him.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. It might be copywritten.
Might be what?
Copywritten.
Mm.
I don't think it is.
Mm.
But it sounds like a song that you would write.
Oh, I feel sorry for you if that's the case. I would make and have made plenty of songs. So you're right about that.
What happened to this cigar shuffle?
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. What's Wilton?
What?
What's Wilton doing over there?
What was the name?
That's a real song. Nobody likes Wilton. They really don't like him.
I love him.
They don't
I love
really-
him already.
They don't really like him.
I like his sick, twisted sense of humor.
1059 100.7 WSIC.
Yeah. #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. We are coming to you live from the brand new Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Brookdale Village. And we thank you so much. You are listening to WSIC. This is Local Biz Now. It's because your business matters. James, thank you, my friend, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we introduce your guest, which you have been tantalizing people over for the entire first half of the show,
He's just a hero of mine already.
I'm
Just
going to show.
from a distance, though, not like creepy sneaking and watching him
Oh,
come
I'm
in.
sure there's some
Yes.
creep involved in that. There's no question about that.
All right.
We are talking with James Sander. He's the founder of Charlotte Most Reliable IT Services, Shared Resources, and we thank you for listening to Local Biz Now. I want to do something for you. I've been working. From last week, I've been working. Are you ready? I want you to hear the brand new sexy promo that I had to force Josh to do. Are you ready for it?
I want to hear it.
Okay. Wilton, fire it up, Wilton. Let me hear
In
it.
the chaos of life, finding moments to relax is essential. I'm Josh Johnson, and whether I'm facing flames or embracing relaxation, Burner Cigar is where I turn. Burn slow, savor every puff, and find tranquility in the simple pleasure of a great cigar.
And I want everybody to know that we really do appreciate Burner Cigars being our sponsor. We're going to work on some stuff, have some fun, put that together. Josh came in last week. We ran those promos. We've got about 20 or 30 of them.
Sexy, soothing
It is.
voice that
He's a
between
sexy
his-
fireman.
Between his
Yeah.
voice and the thought of a cigar, my mouth is watering a
That's
little
right.
bit.
That's right. That's right. And I want to remind everybody that the anticipated Caramacho broadleaf cigar is here. The broadleaf is from Honduras and Dominican Republic, and I welcome you to go buy Burner Cigars and try a delicious and tasty Caramacho. You will truly enjoy it, and you will enjoy and relax your time at Burner Cigars. And again, I want to thank Josh supporting us here. Okay, I did that little bit of business.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce our
I would
guest?
love to.
I'm afraid you're going to do a really bad
If you'll
job.
stop talking, I'll do it.
Okay.
This is Chef Alex Cook. He is the new owner for Bagel Bin. And my daughter and I eat there maybe 2-3 times a week for breakfast. And we have a little song that we like to sing along the ride. And it goes like this. B-A-A-G-E-L, bagel. B-I-I-N-N-N, Bagel Bin. That's the entire song. But we have a great time doing it.
That's pretty good.
And
he didn't like it.
and
He ain't laughing right now.
I don't know.
He's thinking you just destroyed his brand.
But let me say
Wilton
this.
is dying laughing right now. You understand that? Doug? Wilton is just absolutely. That is better than my joke at the beginning of the show, I think.
And I'm gonna start this with just one little critique that
Whoa,
my
whoa,
then
whoa.
8-year-old daughter gave Alex, which is, these are the worst donuts ever. He's all yours. He is all yours, Joe.
I want you to do the song one more time because I want to. Wait a minute now. Hey, Wilton, can we put a little music behind this? No.
B-A-A-D-D-E-L, bagel. B-I-I-N-N-N, Bagel Bin.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Chef Alex Cook, let me apologize, sir, for that intro. But thank you, sir, so much for being here. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So you want to make sure you're talking into that mic,
Will do.
directly into there. So you and I have not met, right? And one thing I know, that the best bagels, period, come from your shop because Nana said so. So if Nana says it, I'm sure that it's the case. And I appreciate you taking time to come by here to talk with us, buddy. And I apologize you had to listen to your brand new theme song. So if you want us to put a promo together for you, we'll be happy to start with that if you want to do that.
We might be your next sponsor.
Thank you so much for being here. So Alex, talk to me a little bit about your background, because did you wake up on a Tuesday and say, you know what, I want to be a chef? How did that happen?
Well, it's I heard throughout my life that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I know it's an old cliche, but it's true. And when I was working in Manhattan, first couple of years, we had paper checks, and I'd go into work, and Friday, obviously, you got paid. And when you
showing your age with paper checks, baby.
Yeah, that's for sure. I tell everybody I'm retired. How's that working out? But yeah, I mean, I'd open up my check and I'd look at it and I'd see the dollar amount, and I would laugh within myself, because it's, I'm getting paid to do what I love. And really, it is a labor of love. I mean, it is a good ways and means of supporting a family, but at the same time, long hours, hot conditions. It's, as far as relational, as a chef, you not only have to be a business person, but you have to be able to kind of be a policeman and navigate relationships that have gone bad, whether it be in the front of the house or the back of the house. You're all over the place. You're responsible.
People don't realize, I got a background in the restaurant business, so I know a little bit about this. People don't realize that, but there's like this constant tension between the person taking your money and the person cooking your food in a restaurant business. So when he says front of the house, back of the house, that's what he's talking about. We're always trying to smooth those relationships over the years.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that the front of the house, I mean, they're relying on tips, so they want to give good service. But at the same time, the guys in the back in the 100-degree kitchen,
he's got to make sure it's right.
Right. He's producing the product, and there has to be some respect there, on both sides of the street. But historically, I worked in Manhattan for 25 years. 20 years of it, I was an executive.
Oh, you're
chef.
one of those guys.
I am.
Did you
I'm
grow up
guys.
in Manhattan?
No, I'm from Long Island. I'm from Long Island.
Well, let me just tell you something.
Is there a difference?
James, you took the words right out of my. I was getting ready to say, "Hey, dude, there ain't much difference." But okay, I got
anything north of
they think it's two different.
Statesville is just...
They think it's two different worlds up there. Right.
But yeah, I mean, Long Island, me coming up was like the country. It was like it is down here. When I left in like 15 years ago, things were starting to turn for sure. But
Was it nerve-wracking to make that move?
to be totally transparent with you, it was a God thing for me. I just felt like I was moved to do something else. Retire kind of hummed in my head, but I was not in a position financially to do that. But made a move to come down and to give back to feed the homeless in Atlanta. That was my first move, and from there, I kind of met some people and met a guy that was interested in creating a national brand, a franchisor. He was the ex-president of Moe's Southwest Grill. He hired me to create this concept called Uncle Mattio's, which is a pizzeria. I did that for quite a while, as well as stay involved in the ministry. Basically, the Mattio's gig paid my bills because ministry doesn't pay. We were feeding 650 people a day.
So let's back up. So you were in Manhattan,
Yes.
James, not Long Island. Okay, Manhattan.
First of all, it's not Long Island. It's
not?
Long Island.
It's Long Island.
Long Island.
Yeah.
Long Island.
Long Island. Okay. So when you were in Manhattan, were you doing the bagel thing there, or were you doing something completely different?
No, I worked in Little Italy. Italian cuisine, Tuscan cuisine. Worked for one of the largest hospitality groups in Manhattan. Kind of came up the ranks and oversaw 3 of the busiest restaurants. It was very. It was.
Were they
lucrative.
high-end restaurants or
Some
mid-level?
Some were. Few were. I mean, then we had the run-of-the-mill. We had Patsy's and Carmine's were under our wing, which are very famous restaurants. I mean, Sinatra, Rat Pack went to both of them, and so there was a lot of nostalgia there. It carried a lot of weight as far as me, at my personal career.
Right.
I got a lot of what we would call ink, a lot of rights in the Daily News, New York Times, regarding the changes that we made in our menu, ways and means in which we did business. I had, to Jim's effect, I had to develop or reinvent myself as a business person, because I came up with the old school guys, the guys right off the boat that were, as far as cooking and.
That's right.
executing.
There was somebody in the kitchen actually making it happen, and then
yeah.
there's somebody in the office counting it up.
Yeah, exactly. We would, the bean counters, that would always be the thing. Well, the bean counters are coming down on Friday, and they'd always want to sit with me and analyze, what was I buying? Why was I buying this? Is this an R&D? Is this for the house? What are you doing? Where's the money going? But for the most part, my authorities, the big bosses that owned the company, basically after about 5 years said, leave him alone. He makes a lot of money. Makes us a lot of money.
Right. Once you form trust in any industry, they'll give you that space you're looking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you, and that'll burn you out. I mean, what you're describing is 65 hours a week work, right?
Right.
And I don't care whether you're the dishwasher, the busboy, the cook, or the waiter or the bartender. They're all doing that 65 hours a week. So it really is a grind. And you're saying, Joe, it just caught up with me.
Yeah, for the most part. I was 49, and my body was starting to break down a little bit. You're right, Joe. It was 60, 65 hours, but I had a 3-hour commute. Coming in from Long Island and going out. So you tack another 15 hours on your 65. Now you're talking 80. But yeah, I mean, eventually I got worn out, and I asked permission to leave, and that was granted, and came down to Atlanta, did my thing. I loved it. It was rewarding. I redefined my definition of value. It wasn't all money and material. It was about people.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a heart change going on with me, where I looked at the business more so as a platform of ministry, where I could now, at my age, mentor younger kids, because let's face it, our capture for our employees are folks that don't necessarily, they dropped out of college, young ladies that might have gotten pregnant early, and they need ways and means, or single moms, how to feed their family. And that was very fulfilling for me from a heart perspective.
So let's take a break. When we come back, let's dig into some of that as well. Did you move to Atlanta to do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Was there a lot of travel involved in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another 3 hours, but it was only 2 miles.
Let's talk about when we come back.
Got that right.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and you are talking with a spectacular chef who's going to fill us in on the trials of being a chef. We'll be right back.
There's more.
So
Okay, good. So when we get back, let's talk about the nonprofit stuff for a little bit.
and then get to
Feeding
the
the
bagel
Hungry.
bin.
and then we'll.
I mean, they can make a reality TV shows out of the past
Oh, you know that better than me.
year and a half of Bagel Bin.
Yeah. It's been.
That's probably any restaurant at any time. I would.
You know, the whole industry has changed so much that, used to, I mean, guys I worked with in New York, I worked with them for 15, 18 years. Same guys.
Right.
When I left to come to Atlanta, I'd say 5 guys say, Chef, we want to go with you. We want to uproot our families and go with you.
Wow.
So what that said to me was, my leadership qualities was, it wasn't,
There is a skill.
It's leading in love or leading in fear, In a French restaurant, you're leading in fear. There's plates being thrown back in the day. I mean, it was crazy. But in an Italian restaurant, what I learned is it's respect, it's love.
That's right.
And the Uncle Mattio's, our motto was serve with love. It's on everything.
I've seen it.
And
Yes.
that was my condition for me to go on board with those guys and do what I did. I wanted it to be a ministry. I look at the bin similar because we have a lot of what I would say, we're the land of misfit toys. Got these people coming from all over, and they got all kinds of problems, and just trying to be available for them. Just try to be open for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my heart change, and just walking with these folks, you can see some changes coming about, some heart changes, because you're with them for so many hours a day.
Sure thing.
you know?
Yes. It's a family. It's
Right.
very family.
Yeah.
Even some of your newest or people that you've brought back that were previous employees.
Yeah.
Watching them reintegrate. And I mean, and that's just from me showing up 3 times a week getting some food.
Yeah.
I can see it. People can see it.
Yeah.
When I recently learned, one of the upfits he did to the organization was this. I mean, like he redid the inside. He did all new color walls and everything. And when the wall was blue, I was like, oh my gosh, where did that painting go? I was like, what in the world? They've painted over it. Surely people are online worked up over this.
Yeah.
And then it comes back. He didn't paint over the historical painting that's in there. It comes back, it's in this beautiful frame, and puts it up there. And I was like, I mean, that's just top
Hey,
notch.
Wilton, can you hear me? Can you take that piece of what we did for Burners and just send it to me? Just that clip of the audio, so I can send it to Josh. Okay.
Yeah, that was when I first went in the Bagel Bin to kind of spy it out. And I walked in, and there's Long Island. I knew. I said, "This is it."
And then I just recently learned that it was Jersey's mom who painted that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just historical ingrained right into the space itself. So
I see.
Yeah. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. You are listening to 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. If it's Monday afternoon, say it.
your business matters.
Yeah. And we are here talking with
Chef Alex Cook from the Bagel Bin. And his story had gotten us to the point where we were talking about how he had left the big corporate world to go down and do some labor of love ministry.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So you went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now, did you just pack your bags and go to Atlanta, or was there this plan to do that? What does that look like? Because it's such a big life change.
Yeah, it was, again, it was a spiritual thing for me because I have a cousin that lives in Atlanta, and he is connected in ministry, and he tied me up with a gentleman, Bruce Deal, who, if you were to look up City of Refuge in Atlanta, it's a huge ministry now. When we started, it was just a couple of abandoned warehouses that were occupied by mice. And now it has a culinary school. It has a bunch of different vocational trainings. But Bruce, I came down and met with Bruce and a few times, and we hit it off. And he invited me to come and be a part of the ministry. And at that time, I created my ministry. Was called the 180-Degree Kitchen, where we taught young adults from broken homes, all kinds of dysfunction. We brought them in. We taught them the vocation of culinary arts. We walked with them. We mentored them. And then in turn, I had relationships with restaurants throughout Atlanta where I would take these kids and I would place them with other chefs. Successful program, about 50%.
Wonderful idea.
Yeah, I mean, we were not the ones that were the trailblazers on it. Some others had been doing it, but I think we refined it. It's still, in action right now. It's a great ministry. It's a huge ministry. But yeah, the liaison was, I got in with Bruce and, through my cousin, and we had some ideas and we were equally yoked and we made it happen.
And then you get onto a deal. Someone calls you and says, "Hey, there's this place in Huntersville, the Bagel Bin."
Yeah. My partner, he was a customer of mine, a guest of mine at a pizzeria that I was running in Midtown, and he calls me out of the blue. I had decided to take another position elsewhere and start to slow down a little bit. He called me and said, "Hey, I've got this opportunity. Come down and talk," which I did. And we struck a deal, and I went to spy on the Bagel Bin to see how it was doing. And honestly, with no disrespect to anybody.
That spying is a very common thing, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody buys a retail business without going there doing a little secret shopper kind of gig.
Sure, exactly. And what I witnessed and what I saw, they were struggling. And my conversations with my partner was, what do you see in this place? Is, well, the foundation regarding the customer base was huge. It was very busy at one point in time, and within the course of 7-8 months, the new ownership that took it over from the original owners had just basically destroyed it. He asked me, "Is it something that you could turn around?" I said, "Absolutely. It's going to cost us some money. Equipment, personnel had to be changed. It was a real firefight for the first, say, 3 months until I got it on the ground."
Where did you learn how to make bagels?
Honestly, I was a pizza guy, so I knew dough to a certain degree. But the original owner, Johnny, we got in touch with him. I said, "Listen, Johnny, you're the master, man. Show me how to do it."
Right.
And Johnny agreed to come by.
That was kind of him.
Oh, he's a great guy. He's a Long Island guy too. And just a great guy. We were equally yoked, personality-wise and otherwise. Johnny ran his business old school, extremely old school.
Right.
So
right.
I understood that side of it. But, with technology, as you guys speak of, I had to really put a change on the Bagel Bin in order for it to become what it is now and where it's going to go.
Right.
It historically had this old cash register, and I think I paid differently every
We
time
call
I was
that
in
old school, babe.
Oh,
Yeah. I
That's
think
right.
I paid differently every time I went in there. Something was slightly different, and it depended on who was at the register and this, that, and the other thing.
That's right. That's right.
And these, I think they're Clover brand
Clover.
point of sale
Correct.
terminals. First one popped up, and I said, "What's going on in here?" And then a second one popped up. I was like, "Whoa, we're setting up for growth now." And that was the earliest change that I saw, followed by some personnel,
Mm-hmm.
followed by some menu changes, and then he applies these incredible little pieces of marketing, like putting little bags of the orange fish crackers, what it
Yeah.
was called. He puts those down at the bottom where kids can find them, and which I thought was pretty slick. Probably making some extra money there.
So
And-
walk me through some menu changes.
Basically, and this is hard for me as being, when you're a chef, obviously you're creative, and you want to make changes.
Right,
and
right.
I have not made, as far as the foundational menu of the Bagel Bin, I have made no changes.
That's why I asked the question, because normally breakfast, they kind of want it the way they want it, right? I mean,
Right, exactly,
right, yeah.
exactly. And they, like I say to everybody, if the car runs, don't fix it.
That's right,
Just
that's
drive
right.
it. Just drive it. And basically, that's what I've been doing with the foundational part of the Bagel Bin. The extras, some new product I'm bringing in, some grab and grow stuff I'm bringing in. I'm trying to get the customers in and out as fast as possible. The POS system is one way to do that, and to be efficient and effective at every sale, making sure you're not leaving any money on the table regarding items.
So you were not here during the pandemic. Were you the owner during the pandemic?
No, I was in
Okay, so
Atlanta.
you didn't have to deal with that issue.
No. The aftermath, the after effect of the pandemic, really, it hurt the labor force. It changed people's thinking. Where if you're in the hospitality business, I was never had the opportunity to say, "Well, I'm not going to work Friday night." Or,
That's
I'm
right.
not going to work
That's
Sunday.
right. That's right.
And now,
No, he's absolutely
yeah.
correct.
No,
You
that's
went
right.
in knowing you were going to work a Friday or Saturday, and then you might be able to negotiate during the week, but it wasn't the other way around.
no,
Can I work from home? Sure.
yeah,
With some other employer.
yeah. And between that, the way we explain it is the tail's wagging the dog. You've got your people telling you how your business is going to run. And that's was some of the first changes I had to make, was to get those folks out respectfully and just say, "Listen, we're going this way and you're going that way, and we're trying to do this and build more of a family unit versus you
Right.
coming in, punching a clock, and leaving." And I think it's been successful so far. For the most part, we've been blessed with a lot of talented people. We are looking to open up a Bagel Bin 2 up in Mooresville. So right now, I'm bringing in competent chefs that are in training to be able to basically, there'll be no learning curve when we find the new location.
So, do you do a lunch menu as well? Do you make sandwiches or any of that kind of stuff?
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
How does that work for you? Is it because you know me? I know the bagel business to be a sort of a morning gig. So,
Yeah.
how's that working for you?
It's great. I mean, I would say our breakfast is the strongest part of the day, but you have to understand that your breakfast ticket or your breakfast plate versus your lunch plate is a substantial difference money-wise.
Right.
So you might not appear to be as busy for lunch, but your numbers are going to equate the same as your breakfast was.
So let's talk a little bit about the changes that have happened since the pandemic. I mean, the industry has changed dramatically. You mentioned one, which is labor, right? How did you work through that, right? What was your attack, knowing that you have these empowered employees, if I can call them that,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
That were not up, I remember the day they were begging for a job. Now we're begging them, will you please work Friday afternoon?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Walk me through what you did to kind of feel comfortable that you could secure these positions.
Well, the folks that stayed on, the folks that we retained from the old Bagel Bin, it takes a minute for them to see who you are as a person and that you care about them as a person first, family first, and everything else is going to fall into place thereafter. And new people coming in, they'll witness that as well. The way things are set up now are very different from the past, whereas the Clover system asks if you want a tip. So I could be paying you X amount of dollars, but you'd be making twice that because of the tip ratio.
Right. And I love that, Clover. I really do. I like that it's asking me what kind of tip that I want. It works for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's part of the card, so I don't have to worry about getting in my pocket for an extra buck or something.
Yeah. I mean, I say to everybody, it's a constant thing. You have to define value or redefine value. I get it. You got to pay your bills. You got to make money. But at the same time, you want to come to a place where you feel comfortable, that you enjoy the relationships that you have within the company.
Right.
We are flexible as far as if you've got something to do. Again, I'm big on family first. If you've got a wedding or something or your kid's birthday, whatever, just let me know. We'll work around it.
So I'm curious, what about vendors and suppliers? Has there been a lot of changes in that regard?
Ways and means in which we do business. We still have the same broadline suppliers. I brought in some new suppliers as well. I'm old school relational. I want to see my marketing associates. I want to know what's hot out there. I mean, they're basically my eyes and ears outside of my store because I'm in my store 60 hours a week.
And that's still old school statement that you just made right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to change the way that I do business.
Right.
I mean, and I think everything in life is relational. Every business is relational.
Right.
If I see your face, it's harder for me to give business to somebody else when you and I have a relationship.
Right. Right. So we've only got a minute. What advice would you give somebody thinking about starting a small business in the restaurant business?
Do your homework. Surround yourself with people that have been in the business. Think out of the box. Surround yourself with people that can do things that you can't. Employ people. If you're in my side of the street, my age, employ people that are technology savvy, whereas I am not. Just be kind, and for me, man, just pray you're doing the right thing, because a lot of people in New York say, "Oh, I always wanted to own a restaurant." I said, "No, you don't. No, you don't. There's a lot more to it than a place where you're going to go and feed your family and have a couple of cocktails. It's a tough.
Thank you,
business.
Alex, so much.
My pleasure.
You are talking to Alex Cook. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. Go to the Bagel Band. Listen to this song. Do it, do it, do it.
BAAGEL, Bagel. BIINN, Bagel Bin.
We'll see you next week and at the Bagel Band.